Oh, man. So in the last session we were trying to deploy. Okay, in the last session we were trying to deploy, so it was throwing some errors. Okay, now let's try to deploy it again. So first I should have ant in my class path. Very. So this we should specify in the class path. And it should be added to the path variable. So the class path is properly set. So we have to create the DA and scripts for the DA file. So I'll right click. So first I'll create the DAA, then I'll create the required scripts. Okay, and then so for the DAA file, I will generate the CLS scripts. So two scripts I will generate. So one for deleting and one for deploying it. Okay. So I will select. So undeploy application, and I will select delete the application, delete old feature versions, and delete old so application template. So this is for undeployment. Okay. So I'll select the server. So what you have to do? You have to copy the properties file, the build and config files to the installation root. Okay, so here we have to copy them. Okay, so now there is nothing else to modify here. So all I have to do is I have to specify and def and I will specify the build file name. So it is referring everything properly only. Okay. Now, so when I log into my administrator, okay, so the application is undeployed. Okay, the application is undeployed. So I want to delete the application. Okay, I want to delete the application. So I have to generate the second set of scripts. So generate administrator, and this time I will select delete application. Okay, so delete the application, and then okay. Now these two I will move into this directory. Okay, there you can see application is deleted. So similarly, if you want to deploy it, okay, if you want to deploy it, so you will create admin CL script, and so you will be selecting the action start. Okay, so start action you will be selecting, and then you're going to execute the command. I mean, you'll create the script. Missing resource instance, HTTP connector for the node. Okay. Okay, the connector is not there. So The connector name is okay. So before deploying, the connectors must be there. So the 19. So you check that whether it is installed or not. Yeah, it is running. So I will do it once again. So you can see the application is deployed. Okay. So that's how you will be performing scripting deployment. Okay, that's how you'll be performing scripting deployment. But so nowadays, so most of the applications prefer this one. Okay, they prefer this Maven. Okay, this is the most widely used, the build automation tool. Okay, which is Maven. But right now they don't have support for Maven, so but they have support for BW6. So in BW6 they have so scripting deployment using Maven. Okay. And so right now, so each command we are executing from here. Okay, each command we are executing from here. So but in real time, this kind of things also will be done automatically. Okay, so the scripting deployment also will be done automatically. So for that you will be using continuous integration. Okay, you will be using continuous integration. Okay, so for that you will be using continuous integration. Okay, so for continuous integration, so you will be using this one. Okay, you will be using Jenkins. Okay, so using Jenkins, so you can do this also automatically. Okay, all you'll be doing is you'll be placing all your the deployment configuration files and all into one directory. So which means the moment I copy here, okay, the moment I copy scripts into this location, okay, the moment I copy script into this location, so this Jenkins will automatically execute these files. Okay, it will automatically execute this file. Okay, you have to create one job file. So based on that, it will automatically create that. Okay, and similar to that, you do have one more, so which is Hudson. Okay, so these two are so most widely used. So Jenkins or Hudson. So they will do automatic deployment. So we are working with only, see, we are dealing with only one ER file or one DA file deployment we are doing. Let's say you are having around 40 DA files you want to deploy. Okay, you want to deploy 40 DA files. So in that case, the best thing is, so use these automation tools. So they will take care of everything. So they do the deployment and they will show you the log file, log status, and they will send emails to you and all. Okay. So whatever it is, that's how you do the console deployment. Okay. Now at the same time, we can also create. Okay, at the same time, so we can also perform we can also create nodes. So right now I am having one node here. Okay, I am having one node here. So this was created as part of your installation. Okay, this was created as part of your installation. So similar to this, I want to create from console. Okay, I want to create the node from console. So that also you can do it. Okay, so how to do that? We'll see that. We'll see later. Now, so here, so in BW what happens? So in BW, so for each process archive, okay, whenever you deploy process archive, so what happens? So for that process archive, one log file will be created. Okay, for the process for your process archive, so one log file will be created. So here also you can do the same thing. So here, so you can create your custom loggers. Okay, you can create custom log files. Okay, you can create custom log files. Like you have three types of custom loggers. So one is XML and one is plain text and second one is JMS. Okay, so XML, so text we have and JMS is there. So but there, so you have only one type of log file. So different log levels you can associate, but only the plain text log file you have. But here you can have your own custom loggers, and you can specify the location of those custom loggers. You can have XML text or you can specify JMS. So when you specify JMS, okay, when you select JMS Appender, the log data will be stored into database. Okay, the log data will be stored into database. Okay, so I am going to create one custom logging appender. Okay, I am going to configure one custom logging appender and I will associate that to this component. Okay, I will associate that to my deployed component. So this I will associate that. Okay, so how to create logging appenders? So go to shared objects and select logging appenders. So these are the default types you have. So this is the JMS appender, clear text file appender you have. And one more is also there, as I said, XML. So this is CBE. Okay, CBE logging appender. So which means, so it is custom base event. Okay, custom base event logging appender it is. So which is XML. Okay. So let's configure the appenders. So for that, so go to governance. What the hell is this? How can I come out from this? Shit. Then you have governance and select log viewer or so shared object, select logging appenders. Okay, logging appenders. So select new. So you can see you have so CBE, so clear text or Jms appender. So whichever you want you can select. So I am going to use CBE. Okay, I will use CBE. And specify your path. Okay, and similarly I will create one more. So this time I will take the clear text. Okay. So now this I'm going to associate to the application. Okay. So go to applications. So that's the application that we have. So to this, go to configuration. There you have login. So right now it is using the default, the node logger it is using. So I don't want to use the node logger, but instead I want to use my a custom logger. So I'll deselect that. So select add, and these are the types you have. So I'm going to use root option, and then I will select set appender. I will select CVE, and I will select log level. So these are the log levels you can associate. So I will select info. Okay. So I will deploy this once again. I have to save it. Okay, save and apply. Okay, so I'll deploy it again. Okay. So once again, I will deploy this. I will run the test case for this. Then it will generate the log file. Okay. So I will create the. So I will generate the what's that? Concrete wisdom. I'll just run couple of times. Now, so check. So in the C drive, so one file will be created. There you can see. So CVE LA1. Okay. So this entire thing so is coming from the request. So like this for each DA file, okay, for each DA file you can associate your own a logger file. Okay, you can associate your own log file. Okay. So whenever you want to associate a custom log file for each composite, so you need to configure the logging appenders. So if you want to store into database, so you have to use this logging appender. Okay, you have to use the Jms Logging Appender. So the Jms Logging Appender is there. So this is actually meant for storing into database. Okay. So this Jms Appender will be using one connector. Okay, it will be using one connector. That's what you call as tenure. So you can see tenure. Okay, it will be using one template called tenure. So using that, so it will be storing into database. Okay. Okay. So whatever loggers you want to configure, you can configure. Now, so let's see the multi-node deployment. So first thing is I want to create the node from console. Okay, I want to create the node from console. Okay, so let's do that. So for that we require two XML files. Okay, for that we require again the build configuration, and you require so one more, which is so you need build configuration file and you need data configuration file. Okay, so I have already given those those files to you. Okay, the node build.xml file and data.xml file. So these two files you require. And before doing any configuration, first you have to customize them. Okay, first you'll have to customize them. So I'm going to customize them. So go to build file. Now it is referring the admin version as 3.1, but our admin version is 3.3. So specify 3.3. Okay, and so it is referring a different TIBCO home. Okay, it is referring different TIBCO home. but I'm having here a different TIBCO home. So check that. Okay, set the correct TIBCO home. And then, so it is referring one property files. So which is set, which has the name as remote props.properties. But we have our own property files which is amxhour.properties. So this, it's up to you. Either you can rename this or you can use that one. I mean, you can change the name here or you can change the name from here. I'll just change the name in that file. Take this. Okay, I'll specify that. Yeah. So this is the these changes we have to do in this node.build file. Okay, in the build file, and rest everything it is referring to paths. Okay, now it requires one more file, so which is admin scripts base.xml file. So this we have to find out. Okay, this we have to find out, and this we will be having in this location. So administrator, scripts are samples. So we should have somewhere here admin scripts base. I'll search it. Shit. So I'm going to search it. Okay, so we need this file, admin scripts base. So open that, and so here you can see the TIBCO home is blank, so it is not set correctly. So I have to set the correct path for it. So which is this. Okay, now so set the correct path. And again the same steps you will follow if you want to create, a multi-node BPM runtime. Okay, and then so you have to specify so what name you want to give for your node. Okay, so what name you want to give for your node. So here node 3 is set, so I will give a different name for it. Okay, and so on this node, this is the host, so I have to specify the environment. Okay, I have to specify the correct environment, so my environment is this one. Okay, the environment is Twilio dev env, so that I have to specify. Okay, I have to specify that. So in this environment, this node will be created. So now, so I have to specify. So I want that one resource instance should be automatically created. Okay, one resource instance should be automatically created. So here, so resource instance name is HTTP connector 909. So I'll give a custom name for it. So HTTP-con 9093, and the same resource template also should be created. I'll specify that here. Okay, and so you have to specify on which system that should be deployed. Okay, on which system this resource instance should be created. So this is the name, and this should be created onto this system. So I'm going to name it as localhost, or whatever system name you have, you specify that. Okay, so what it will do, it will create one node into the environment, Twilio environment, and in that node one resource template will be created, and then the resource instance will be installed onto the newly created node. Okay, so with this, so again I'm going to run. So this time my command is node build.xml file. Okay, so now we can see here. So when you go to nodes, so there you can see two nodes here. Okay, and on this node, so you will be having one resource instance. Okay, so now we have, since we have two nodes, okay, since we have two nodes, now we can test the multi-node features. So one is distributed deployment. So you can have one component onto one system. Okay, so one, like, so you can install the mediations onto one component and the bindings onto another component. Okay, so that is one. So where you will distribute your application fragments onto multiple systems, and you can explore the feature of load balancing as well. Okay, you can explore the feature of load balancing, and you can also explore the feature of late bindings. Okay, multi-node late bindings you can explore. Okay, so all those features we'll discuss in the next class. Okay, let's see in the next class.